conversation moving.
Man, Jason is hitting the nail on the head. So why should I be responsible for your ignorance? You need to rise to the occasion and learn to be tactful and use wisdom in these type of spaces. That's not my problem.
They go to publicists now doing their pitch. Listen, this shit, the app was made so motherfuckers can come in here and have a little talk, and niggas, this shit not supposed to get out. Point
then
blank.
Get another app.
That's what we about to do. We finna make a
but wait, how do you get a private?
They can still do it with the private room. They don't have to do it in a public room.
Exactly.
And I think it's very important to understand that these celebrities are also going to use this as an opportunity for redemption. As we saw with Tory, when that first recording came out, he laid low for a very long time with that scarlet letter on his profile. And then he used the opportunity with DJ Akademiks last night to, kind of reclaim space, because people kind of made it uncomfortable for him to navigate onto the app. And we have to be mindful of the fact that we are some people, not we, but some people are allowing themselves to be baited into this idea that there's a safe. I don't understand. I want somebody to define safety. It's 2020.
Well, you wait, hold on, Kamiko. You guys do realize that they're using us as test dummies for this app, the same way they're using these dumb niggas for the vaccine, right?
Absolutely.
So that's what we're all a part of their beta process. The other thing too is that if you are a sensitive person, social media should not be the world that you find yourself spending a lot of time, because people, somebody can come up here right now, hurt my feelings, tell me that I'm fat. Well, unless they know I lost 100 pounds, they can say whatever they want to say on this app. I have the choice of being a bitch and letting it hurt me, or not giving a fuck and moving on.
Pin that shit? Can somebody pin that shit? Can somebody pin that shit?
Somebody call me.
Social media should not be a place where you spend all your time. Fact.
Okay.
And it's not made for sensitive people. If you're sensitive,
it ain't made for
you
sensitive.
Should get the fuck off of
I mean, respectfully.
Did somebody call me?
Wait. Hold on, Gilly. T was next. I'm sorry. Hold on.
Can I go after T?
Sorry, can I go after T?
Okay, thank you. Is it Myasia? Thank you, Myasia.
Yeah, Myasia.
So to Jason's point, I want to point out in that Akademiks room, I really do feel like people knew what was going on, because if you don't know, Daily Struggle was canceled. And Akademiks even said that he has a pod, because they asked him, what you going to do next? And he said he has a podcast. Daily Struggle was canceled when Joe left. Go ahead, continue. Right. But do you not think that Akademiks knew that people from there, whether they like Akademiks or not, are now going to try to figure out when his podcast is coming out and are going to want to tune in because they think it's going to be more drama, like how that room was going? That was giving him publicity. And the thing is, a lot of people in the industry know, as Jason was saying before, that it doesn't matter what they're saying about you. It just matters that they're talking about you. And so I feel like we don't necessarily even know I said this already. A lot of us are creating assumptions as to why this app was created. But in reality, unless you created the app or are friends with the creators, we don't know the purpose of why this app was created. They said it was supposed to be like a podcast. Well, unfortunately, a lot of podcasts that get very popular, they're popular because they do spread tea, gossip, and they have information on things that people want to know, whether it be tech, stocks, art, entertainment industry. And honestly, this app has all of the above.
Yo, Jason, bring up Bearline.
Gilly, go ahead.
Oh, I love Bearline. I've been trying to meet Bearline. I don't know how to find her. How do I do that?
It's a thousand people in here. Somebody might have to do that.
Yeah, I'm looking for her.
Bearline, raise your hand so I can add you right here. Go ahead and raise your hand, Bearline.
This app is sticky right now.
Hey, can I go after Gilly?
So my point that I just wanted to make is I'm not somebody that's in the industry whatsoever, but I do watch it closely, and it's pretty much the same thing in real life. You know what I mean? People gonna talk shit about you. People gonna always have something to say. But why does that matter? You know what I mean? And honestly, the whole purpose of the app being created as well, it's what we make of it that really matters than why this white man wanted to sit here and create this app. You know what I'm saying?
To get our intellectual property.
Exactly.
Bearline, can you raise your hand? Because I can't find you. There's too many people
Yeah,
in here.
I can't find her either. Does anybody see what row she's on?
I invited Ebro up here. I mean, other people who
bring up
say
Neiman
whatever they
too.
want to say. Who?
Neiman.
Somebody? Okay, I see Neiman. Hold on, is that Neiman? Yeah, that's him. Invite to speak. If you see Bearline Adder, I invited Ebro. People who have no problem saying whatever they want to think. So let's reset the room real quick. The whole conversation started around the whole Meek and Akademiks conversation going public and people being sensitive about private conversations on a public app being recorded. Now, not just being screen recorded, audio recorded, transcribed, whatever. And I'm saying my position was, and different people have different perspectives. If you say anything in public on a public platform, whether it's in a private room or not, you cannot be mad that it goes public.
Can I speak to T's point that she brought up?
Go ahead while I look for Bearline.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still.
I just wanted to say that I think what we're missing here is that if people were so concerned about privacy, especially these organizations like social media, they wouldn't exist to begin with, right? And so with Clubhouse, yes, they might have a town hall which they take questions that were picked directly that they want to actually answer. We don't know what's happening in the boardroom. We don't know what they're actually saying amongst each other. And like T was saying, friends of these people might know, but we as the general public will never really.
Y'all moved her to the audience while she was speaking.
Am I tripping or did she cut off? Or
yeah, I thought that was my phone.
She's in the audience now. She got moved to the audience. It seemed like.
I didn't do it.
Yeah.
Well, the app has been glitching because I know I got kicked out the room a couple of times. And
It's definitely
the room's
glitching
gotten
right
real big and it's glitching.
It's moving.
There she go. Nika.
I feel like they're watching us. They watching us and shit.
Yeah, the owners of the app don't like our conversation. They doing this shit, and I'm not doing it.
They don't like that I'm going in on the owners. They don't like that I'm going in on who these people are.
Right.
I'm sorry. I knew the minute I was going to speak about them, something was going to happen. But continue, guys.
Did you finish your comment, Nika?
Okay, just keep the conversation moving. Who's next, Maisha?
I was going to chime in, if I may.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
I think that a lot of people okay. So I think a lot of people don't realize, like, no matter what they say, it's going to be public regardless. And also, like, these apps, nobody reads the small print or the little acceptable use policies or nothing. So really, like somebody said, there's no privacy. So if you're going to say what you say, you should accept the fact that it's very possible for it to be public. I think the only people that should be very mindful are people that have like corporate jobs or jobs that know that what they say can get them in trouble. And if you know that that's the case, you shouldn't be on here talking reckless.
Period.
Hi, can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Half the people with jobs be on here during their job.
Hi, sorry. Hi, my name is Ayo. I think like one of the things that this presents is how human beings interface with technology. So it's like, this is the first time ever we've had a situation whereby you're speaking and you're kind of almost like live streaming your speaking. And so I think it's kind of like one of these kind of teething issues that we would have, whereby people feel like, oh, I'm having a phone conversation, because you're just kind of talking to a screen. And they are not yet like cognizant of the fact that like they're speaking on social media that's recorded. And like, I think
this is not new.
Like the tension.
This is not new. That's like saying if I post on my Instagram and I only have 5 followers, I don't understand why it went viral. We live in a world when you put shit out publicly, whether you got 5 followers or 5.
Is he going out?
Is he going out?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you
hold on. To the tech guy. Hold on a minute. If you have 5 followers and you put shit out, you can't be mad when it goes public, because it only takes 1 follower to send it to somebody with 5 million for the world to see it. So once you put shit out publicly, whether it come out your mouth on the app where you're dumb enough to think that just because you see our icons, we're not real people behind the voices, that's your stupidity. Why I gotta suffer for that? Why I gotta be worried? Why I gotta be worried about your feelings?
No, Jason. No, that's sorry. No, Jason. I'm not disagreeing with you. I agree with you. I'm just saying that like I think this is where the clash is happening. Is that like there is like a subsection of people who just see this as like, oh, I'm having a kind of a phone conversation, and that the conversation is ephemeral, and that like it just disappears into the ether, because like once the room is closed, it's closed. So it's like people are going to have to rework their thinking the same way we had to rework our thinking around Facebook, when like you're on Facebook and you put up drunk photos of yourself when you're in college, and then now it's like a changed platform. So I think that like more of the celebrities just have to like get into the mindset that like it is going to be recorded, whether or not they, no matter, irregardless of how the interface feels, and that is what they
the
need
conflict
to
is
understand.
the conflict is exclusivity with the apps. That's why Instagram was a big app. That's why this app got so big really fast. So the problem is exclusivity and how we treat it and how we value celebrity and how everyone wants to be in on the next thing. So I don't think the problem is people talking and how the app works. It's the fact that it's the social status that you can get from it and how you maneuver in whatever field you are in.
And again, words have power. We're saying now the new word is celebrity. So Punch from TDE is in here, right? Why is Kendrick Lamar not on here? Why? Because he don't need this app to stay relevant. He don't need the conversations to go viral for people to be thinking about him. He's a star. He's a celebrity.
I got a question.
Hold on. Wait a minute. I didn't even finish. Okay. Why is Floyd Mayweather not on here? Because his money ain't built. He ain't worried about being in these conversations because he got his money. He's doing his thing. Cardi, she don't need this app. She's not in here doing that, having these reckless conversations and feeding them to the blog so we talk about them. So I think we got to be mindful that there's more behind the bullshit. Like, it's not just conversations being picked up and put on Hollywood Unlocked. It's some of these celebrities. Hold on. There's some of these celebrities feeding us all the shit that we talking about right now.
Yeah, hold on. I think I'm gonna say something and then Shay, you're next. So I think like the main thing we need to think about, like right now, this app is ever changing. Like every day something's different. The features are changing. We're kind of stuck in the middle between private and public. We're gonna go through this conversation is gonna come back up again when it finally does become public. And my thing is this app gonna be beneficial when everybody gets on here?
Yes, because there's private rooms.
Yeah, that was part taken to my question though, because do y'all really think that like podcasts, have some resemblance to what this app is? Like podcasts, you can go back in a podcast and like re-listen to whatever people are saying. Here you can't. You got to say what you got to say. You got to say on your chest. You got to get it out there. Period. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't like people listen, people don't listen. But then a podcast, you can go back and be like, okay, damn.
The only reason why this app is popping is because people think that they have some type of insight into the industry or whatnot. So until that's the reason why the dude posted it, because he wanted some clout to get likes on Twitter, because the engagement doesn't add up. He has 100,000 views, 1 million views or whatever, and then he has like 1,000 likes. So the thing that's making this app popping is that people think that they're getting the first heads up and stuff like that. So once everybody can get in on it, it's not going to be a popular app anymore.
Right,
so,
but unlike a podcast, you can go back.
But Shay was next. She had a point.
Yeah, thanks. I was going back to the point about expectations. I can't imagine where artists get on here. Sincere, you was talking about being, you come from a particular set of people that have and move with integrity, and you thought by coming on here and it being exclusive, the expectation that 10,000, 5,000 people in a room is going to move like you. I'm sorry, that math does not math. It just doesn't, because you don't have control over this is saying respectfully, I cannot operate. I can't dictate how you operate. I can only dictate how I operate in that same space, period. So and as a experienced artist, one that has some purpose about themselves, who do things in a deliberate way, they're going to go into these spaces knowing I have intention with this. I know what I'm trying to give out. I know what I'm trying to get back. I know how to make it successful for me. Or maybe I'm just trying to fill it out to first they can monetize like I can. And there's a whole set of people who's right now in back rooms building up their business plans, trying to figure out, how am I going to make money off this? How am I going to duplicate this? How do I make this more successful for me? And then there are those, again, like I said before, y'all already have safe spaces. Y'all already have each other's phones and cell phone numbers. You can already hit up your mans and be like, you know what, let me talk to you about this plan. Let me talk to you about this funding I need. Y'all already have that opportunity. Please don't make this yet another opportunity where we just sit back and get to hear how great y'all are. I'm sorry. It should not be the party line of egos. And that's how I feel about it.
It sounds like you got some low key self esteem issues on that though, because if we are
No,
talking,
no, I don't think so. Wait, hold on. We don't need to. Hold on. We don't need to do. Wait a minute. Wait, hold on, sister. We don't need to do personal attacks. It ain't about. I mean, only if I got to say to the audience, it ain't about self-esteem issues. That's her perspective, right? Add your perspective if it may be different, but I don't think that was low self-esteem issues. Because I actually agree with her.
So, Jason, I want to just add real quick. I think it's more above and beyond podcasting, because if I listen to a podcast, that's literally all I'm doing, listening. It could be some dope celebrities on there, but that's literally what we're doing, is listening to it. Clubhouse is a whole nother element. So even if it gets bigger, I still think it'll stay relevant, because there could be, 100,000 people in the audience thinking, well, this could be my chance. They might pull me to the stage and I get the opportunity to speak to these celebrities and have that access to them. I think that's what Clubhouse provides. And even not just the celebrities, just people in different fields in general that people want to enter, industries people want to get in. It gives them that opportunity, not just to get that knowledge, but contribute. That's the layer that a podcast can't add. And I think that makes Clubhouse stay relevant.
And everybody has different intentions. We talked about intentionality early on. I don't need to get on this app to meet nobody. I already know who I need to know, and whoever I want to know, I can get to them. I got on here because I want to hear conversations from people who consume podcasts, who are in brand marketing, who work at brands, who can give me an insight in real time as to what the consumers are looking for. What are the brands looking for? What are the problems for Black journalists in media that I'm out talking about? So for me, it's less about giving a fuck about whether or not your stupid conversation around what Akademiks post goes viral or not. Like the celebrity participation, remember, I'm gonna tell you this now, it's ruining the experience. And it is whether or not it's, we should love our favorite celebrities and be able to talk to them. I'm not sucking no celebrity's dick on Clubhouse to get their affection. Like, I don't give a fuck about that.
Thank you, Jason.
Talk your shit. No, let Jason talk his shit.
I thought this was a dating app.
No, it's just real shit, because I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm doing a post later on my Instagram where, like, this whole week it's been celebrities calling me, asking me, why did you write this? Or publicists calling me saying, can you please post this? Nigga, I'm a whole business that posts what I want to post. Whether you like it or you don't like it, it is what it is unless you're paying me. So why do people feel like the entitlement should exist because of who they are to the world? Like, I don't give a fuck about your celebrity. I'm gonna say what I want to say. And if you have a problem with it, you could sue me, you could threaten me, you could do whatever. If you hurt me, you're going to jail, because I definitely would call the police.
No, Jason,
but we on the app. We on the app where
I got check
you can't record. It ain't like you can go back and listen to the conversation. You feel me?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Like, they can't go back and be like, oh, you said this, you said that, you said this.
Who is they?
Yeah, but who is they and where are you talking about? The thing about it is that whether you go on my podcast, my radio show, my YouTube show, or my show on Fox Soul, or you come here, or my Instagram, who cares whether they can go back or not? If somebody catches anything I say at any point in time in my life, that's how I felt at that time, and I'm gonna stand behind what I said at that time.
Right.
That doesn't mean that. Right. Go ahead.
I'm talking about like from the podcast aspect, like. I agree with that. Like, I understand what you're saying. Like, I'm saying, like, from a sense of, like, people to be like, oh, I got proof. You said this, you said that. Nah, you can't go on this app and be like, yo, you said this, you said that. Nah, this app ain't, we here talking. We sharing our minds. Like, we all don't know.
Listen, last night I was getting out of my room and somebody literally pulled me into a private room. I didn't even know how the fuck that shit works. I was having a private conversation with somebody I don't even know about some shit I didn't want to talk about. I'm like, wait, what is this? You know what I mean? So like, we're all still learning what this app does, but I can tell you there's more benefits than there aren't. I just think censorship or being afraid to speak your mind because somebody might be recording does not ruin an experience with another human being. I love the fact that a woman can get on here and say, yo, I don't like how you be talking about women on your show. Look, let's have that conversation. And if you record it and put it out, I don't give a fuck. Like, why is everybody so sensitive? What is you protecting?
We also need to keep these conversations.
Motherfuckers protected getting canceled. See, the difference is they be canceling niggas, dog, and ruining lives, bro. Like, literally, they could get up one day and say, we don't know if Tory Lanez shot that girl, but he say he did. She's twerking on Instagram. So she could just say, oh, he did it, or she never, I don't even think she said the man did it. He's done, canceled. Never listen to him again.
But sincere. I'm black and I'm openly gay as fuck. You don't think people have tried to cancel me for saying tranny and thinking and saying that I'm transphobic because I said tranny? Nigga, I know trannies that say tranny. So why the fuck is that wrong? But you know what? All the times they've tried to cancel me, guess what? It's for shit I said and I stand behind. The problem that the consumer don't get and that fans don't get is that most of these celebrities are packaged brands. They're selling you an idea. They're selling you a mirage and you bought into it. Then the minute they get an app like this and they slip up and show you who the fuck they are and it gets out, oh my God, the app is ruined. The app is ruined. I can't believe they did that. I can't believe they show you who I really am. Oh, my bags are fucked up. Oh, I'm losing these deals because I said some dumb shit. Guess what? Your dumb ass should have stayed the fuck off of Clubhouse and should have been making a record that we could actually enjoy. How about that?
And like somebody else said it.
How about that?
Somebody else said it, Sincere. This app is, remember, every social media platform has its own identity. Clubhouse is meant to exchange minds and express opinions, right? But also you can redeem yourself on here. This is, you can use that and leverage that if you feel like people are canceling you. You can have those those uncomfortable conversations and talk about that. And people at the end of the day, whether we say good, bad people for the most part, when you come with such vulnerability, they fuck with that. They identify with that and they hear that out, and that can shift your entire that can shift the whole narrative about you.
Absolutely true. And I mean, just in general, if you're a public figure, just proper etiquette, like what you're supposed to do. Like there's certain things you will never be able to speak on, especially with an app that's becoming more public. It's just certain things. I know, Jason, you say like be transparent, put it out there, but there's still certain things, like if you are going to be mad or you're going to be fake, I think everybody's pretty much fake mad. If you're going to be fake mad about stuff getting out, just don't put it out there.
I said a joke on my podcast one time about Ariana Grande that was like really inappropriate. Even though I knew it was inappropriate at the time, I didn't know it was going to go as viral as it was. And it was like a really big deal where I had a lot of influential celebrities calling me saying, hey, man, like, I love you and I know your heart. You should probably apologize and fix that. And I was really torn on whether I should apologize because I said what I said. And even though it was wrong, or maybe it came out wrong, it was just bad. I didn't feel I should have apologized.
What would you say, Jason? What you say? Might as well repeat.
Yeah, what you say, Jason?
Yeah, don't repeat that.
And did you make an apology?
No, what I said was I say it because it's out there, right? I saw her performing at one of the award shows, and she was like, she was like, I don't know what you call it, but basically she was sitting on a chair and her legs were all open and it was real sexualized. And I said, look at her up there sitting, acting like she's Beyonce. That's a little girl. So bam, they said I was a misogynist. Then I said, she really looks like an R. Kelly snack waiting to get pissed on and probably should not do that. That shit was like not cool, right? No, it was probably not cool, but in the spirit of my interview, and that's just how I talk, that's what it was. But I did end up apologizing because I didn't want. It was fucked up. I apologize, but I got a lot of criticism for apologizing, and I think that goes back to like now where I am in my career. If I say it and I do it, I have to stand behind it, whether I get consequence or not, because it is how I felt at the time. It's how I felt.
So you don't see yourself issuing like any apologies after anything, like if anything else is
I am never apologizing again. If I say it, I stand behind it. I accept all the consequences for it.
So what
Bro, you shouldn't apologize.
What garners the apology then, if that's the case?
That's my thing. I don't think we should. I think that if you say some shit that offends the gay community because you're homophobic, right? And then the gay community gets together, they get the gay generals and the gay captains and the gay lieutenants, and they all get on their gay ships and they come and blow your shit up. You got to just stand behind it and say, shit, you know what I mean? If I offended you, that's just what I felt. Like that's how you did. Yeah, but Boosie also got his 12-year-old kid's dick sucked by a grown woman, so he supports pedophilia. But again, he stood behind that. You know what I mean? He stood behind it.
I respect that, Jason.
That what you were saying, Jason, where it's like these celebrities, they come as a package brand, and then once you find out who they really are, it becomes a problem, and then they get mad because these apps are exposing who they really are. And I feel like that's not the app's fault. That's not the consumer's fault. That's the public figure's fault. Like you in your situation, Jason, people know you say what you want. You say what comes to your mind. People know this. like that's part of your brand. So to your benefit, if you say something that might be off the wall, it's not as crazy because it's expected. But
and just so I'm clear, I'm not celebrity bashing. Let's talk about Joe Biden. No. Let's talk. No. I'm adding color to what you're saying. I'm talking about the Joe Biden on the Breakfast Club when he says that if you're you know what I'm saying, if you're voting for Donald Trump, you ain't black, right? It's for anybody who says anything in a public space and expects people to edit it or not record it. Once you say it, once it leaves your mouth, it is for the world to decide how they feel about it. And we should not censor ourselves if we say that, because now we were able to really see what Biden thought, right? You know what I mean? We were able to see what his perspective was. Now, I'm sure his PR people were like, Charlemagne, Power 105, please delete that. But fuck no, the public needs to see what you think and how you move so that way they can decide how they buy into you.
Right. But let me give an example of Christina Aguilera. When Christina Aguilera first came out, genie in a bottle, etc. and so forth. She was supposed to be coming out to be pinned against Britney Spears. And then once she switched to Dirty, who she felt like that's who she really was, it was a big deal. But it's like she had to, because she went against the brand that she originally went out.
Just like this app.
Right. But I'm just giving an example because I didn't want to make it seem like I'm celebrity bashing. But I'm just saying that when it comes to apps and stuff, I feel like public figures, they should really try to, when they come out in general, being authentic to themselves. Because regardless, their true self is going to come out. And 9 times out of 10, unfortunately, it's going to go viral and be on a public figure. And be on a public app. And if you can't stand behind what you said, that's when shit really hits the ceiling.
But let me use your example. I got you. Let me use your example. Let me use your example, right? Beyonce came out as Destiny's Child with No. Okay, but then she evolved into Beyonce and Naughty Girl and all this other stuff. We have to let people evolve, just like we have to let this app evolve. People just have to understand that if you don't understand that the pendulum swing of how consumerism works and how media works and how cancel culture is working, we now live in a world where a nigga can't say shit without fearing of losing everything, right? Because we bought into, let's keep it private. Oh, well, why is it private? Because they're saying shit we shouldn't hear. Well, what are they saying? We have to get to a place where nigga say something, nigga meant it, nigga said it. Move on. That's what it is. And we just are not there.
Right. We have to allow for room for growth. And we don't allow for room.
The same with this app. Quit talking to me about what the app was like when it was 35 niggas on here acting like they were A&Rs but don't have no records to point to, right? This is an app now. Yo. This is an app now where Jason Lee has figured out he can get on here and talk his shit in real time and hear what people think. And guess what? It's okay. You can still be what you want.
Jason, I respect that. I'm gonna tell you. I want to tell you something. I appreciate you. Because that's one of my problems, is this like this level of like egos and this hierarchy. I'm with you. I'm not gonna sit up here because you're a celebrity and idolize you because you're in some type of group and then you're cutting and you feel like what you have to say is more important than what I have to say. And I just want to just tell you as just a compliment, thank you for just opening the stage for everybody and being and the willingness to just hear us all. Because
appreciate
we
you
can learn
listen.
Hey, can I say something real quick?
Wait. But let me respond to her. First of all, I received those flowers. But let me tell you, that's why, because I'm not afraid that your opinion of me, good or bad, is going to stop my bag, because my bag gonna keep coming regardless. I'm not afraid of losing nothing for being an individual in this world that has his own point of view, because that's what this world is about. We've gotten to a place now where you can't criticize Beyonce because you'll get canceled. By who? What would you mean? She is not Jesus Christ.
I feel like social media has
don't criticize Beyonce.
Social media in general, like the cell phone devices, social media, all this shit has made it so you can't. I mean, you get judged by every little fucking thing you do, and then when you yourself, motherfuckers get offended. Oh, whoa, calm down, Jamal. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should be able to be yourself without some motherfucker taking,
But you know what? I'll ask you this question. I'll ask you this question. How many people in here know how to be themselves or what being themselves really is?
Nobody. That's what I'm saying. Everybody is claiming that they're.
I do.
Everybody's
I'm gonna tell you how I feel, like how Jason said.
Everybody's claiming that they don't give a fuck, but they actually do. Yeah. That's the whole allure of this app.
I feel like
they want to get in these spaces with everybody and bump elbows. Everybody's not a Jason Lee, so Jason can actually talk that shit. But I'm pretty sure there are a lot of people on this stage who are not going to keep that same energy.
Contrell, let me just say this though.
I feel like nobody because look. Hold on, let's reset. Let's let Sincere go.
Yeah, let me just say this though. Like, we could just we all familiar with Sodom and Gomorrah, right? It's like you gotta have boundaries. It can't just be fuck everybody and everything. You Mad Max out here on your own, about to conquer the world. Like, you gotta have some boundaries, integrity, respect for other people. You gotta have you can't just some shit, man. It's a lot of shit I done seen with celebrities, and I could write a tell-all book right now. But for what? Just to get some clout or man, some shit is just okay, that's for me to go to my grave with. I don't need to say everything I feel.
That argument is invalid in hip hop.
I don't gotta say everything every time. Let me, you know what I'm saying? Just because I'm seeing, I don't gotta just put it out there. Yo, I don't care. I might have an opinion about, R. Kelly or Tory Lanez. I'm not gonna say certain shit because it's for what? I don't even want the energy that come with some of that shit. I'll protect my energy before anything. But
you just made my point though. See, and that's how you use personal restraint, because you just don't even want the headache because you really don't give a fuck. But at the end of the day, if somebody decides they want to say something and that's how they felt, one, we got to become more accepting. That's how they felt. And two, they have to have more courage to not follow whatever people say is politically correct, socially correct. Now, I'll use Doja Cat as an example, right? This bitch rolling around letting white people call her a nigger, you know what I mean, playing up to white people's affection when they were creating a room where it was negative. And then she talked about 4C hair, and they even had stuff to say about gay people, and people still, you know what I mean, they bashed her. She gave you a shitty apology that her publicist wrote for her, and people didn't buy into it. Look, she showed you who the fuck she was. Now, if you decide to still support her, cool, but to some degree, at least she had the courage to let you see who she was after it came out. But you have the right to decide how you want to keep consuming it. But the reason why you didn't see it for a long time is they had made her a packaged brand. Now she just did a collaboration with Pretty Little Things. Them niggas I used to work with, they in the news for slave labor. So a company accused of slave labor hired a chick who was known to support racism, and we still don't give a fuck. Well,
I'm gonna say this.
Maybe we shouldn't.
I'm gonna say this. Here's a metaphor.
People don't care.
People see the tree, but they don't see the roots. And that's regardless who you are. I don't give a fuck if you're famous. I don't give a fuck if you're a regular person. People see the tree, but they don't see the roots. They see what the fuck you give off, but they don't see what's underneath. You know what I'm saying? And so many people get this connotation of you supposed to be like this, you act like this, you do this, you do that, you do this. You can speak your mind. You're supposed to be the way you were supposed to be, but people only see you as a fucking tree. And the roots is where you actually bring yourself up out of some shit. You speak up.
Bingo, Braylon.
Right. And to your point, Braylon, I think that's the problem that some people are having, is because they let their roots show on a public app, then it goes viral, and now they want to blame the app instead of blaming themselves. And so it's you can't get mad at the app because your true colors are showing. If you knew you was an asshole, or you knew you was this, that, and the third, and it wasn't something you wanted to get out to the public, you should not have gotten comfortable on a public space. And so to bring it back to the topic, is recording Clubhouse convos to post publicity a problem? I don't think it is, because eventually your true color is going to show regardless. And it's just unfortunate we live in a world where we can get it to millions of people in 3.5 seconds.
Now, I do have a question I brought DJ Smalls up because he's somebody who has interviewed so many different artists, and you can he can actually use this type of information to create content. So Smalls, I just wanted to know what you think about the whole topic in general.
I'm just a fly on the wall in this conversation, but I do want to give Jason his flowers. I think it's dope that he speaks his mind and speaks the truth, and much respect to you, Jason.
Thank you. But before me, you had Wendy, you got Joe. I look at Wendy, Joe, Charlemagne, sometimes Ebro, no shade, Ebro. You know what I mean? There are people in the space who have laid the blueprint for me to be able to have a platform and make as much money and success as I do doing what I do. But you know what? I also know the guardrails, right? I know that like recently I was talking about JT from the City Girls and her getting into a Roland Ray, and Roland Ray, for those of you that don't know, he's in a wheelchair, but he's funny as fuck on Instagram, right? So I was like, yo, that nigga Ray rolled up. Like, I know that some people may be sensitive and say, yo, you talking that was shady towards somebody with disabilities. Well, nigga, guess what? On my show, I've had a midget, and I told her, you're a midget. You know what I mean? And that is what my show is. I know it isn't for everybody, just like every room ain't for everybody. So if I see Tory Lanez is in a room, I am gonna slide in there to hear if he tells me what bullet hit Meg's foot. Now, that's just me wanting to be nosy. If I choose to record it or not record it, that nigga didn't have to say it. And so I don't think that we should shape transparent public conversations on any platform around a nigga who shot a female with or didn't shoot a female. Like, that's just not, I just feel like, again, if we do that, if we argue that or champion a lack of transparency, we are the very people who are saying, yo, we only care about certain conversations. We really don't want to hear about gays. We don't really want to hear about blacks. Yo, women, we don't want to hear about equality. That shit don't line up with the fuck we want to talk about. So don't talk about it. No, we should talk about whatever we want to talk about. And if somebody put it out, whether it's colorism or Meg got shot or why we're talking about academics, we should be able to do that.
I'm
totally against censorship, and what me and Jason talked about that before, but I think something that everybody's overlooking and probably is what's going to be the catalyst for this app and other apps to follow would be a situation where, as like, if I wanted to start like a business, let's say a tech company with Jason, and we were talking about it via email, that's legally binding. That's stuff that we can take into a courtroom. Then you start talking about Clubhouse, which is all voice, and your